So Ni No Kuni's story is one of those games that uses childish tendencies to explain complicated and probably very dark things. Now, before anyone starts freaking out with me saying dark, don't worry. There's no, murder and suicide and cults and things like that. There's none of that. Don't worry. And what I mean is by dark is that if a child played this game, like how it's been advertised or how it looks, then this can be a very, very sad and heartbreaking game because it has these things such as like parallel worlds, multiple realities, and of course losing a mother that is just so complex that even the oldest video game hater would probably enjoy. The story is heartbreaking, warming, breathtaking, and it has a pretty good few twists, but I don't think you won't see them coming. I think you'll piece together what's going on before it actually happens, but that takes away from none of the story at all. It is still extremely enjoyable. The story itself was fresh and something every RPG should strive for, and the grand scale and connectedness of Ni No Kuni will probably be remembered and cherished and held for years to come. The gameplay to Ni No Kuni is sort of a mix between turn-based strategy and actually being able to move around, and also being able to use familiars, or Pokemon as some people have been calling them. Now, this really isn't relatively new, using familiars, attacking, defending, using spells, using items, and it just all comes together so nicely that you'll probably enjoy it immensely, but because it's so basic and it's not really breaking any new ground, when you have to occasionally grind for a side mission or story mission, you'll probably see yourself nitpicking the formula on how this could be better, but the gameplay itself is still superb. The menu screens in this RPG were very, very easy to navigate, no problems, and that goes right into the loading screens in this game. I don't think I had one loading screen that was over 3 to 5 seconds long. They were all like this, no matter how long the cutscene was in front of it, or how big the world is that you're going into. They were all pretty quick and easy. The soundtrack to this game is great. I'm sure some of you saw the video I uploaded of the ending credits theme, which was my favorite, and I thought it was just this beautiful, beautiful work of art. And that also goes into the other things as well, like graphics, the art, and just the art style. It is all beautiful. It is all nicely done, and man. And for those of you wondering who are like, oh, well, this is, becoming localized in the Western world, so it's going to have crappy voice acting, I honestly didn't think it did. I mean, I heard Oliver in another character was actually played by a child. And I couldn't tell. I thought it was an adult doing a children impression. And the replayability, I don't know about you, but this game took me about 50 hours to beat the story, and 20 hours about or so extra of post-game content. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to replay 50 hours of something with really no change at all. But the post-game content has a lot of side missions, a lot of side missions, and trophies to strive for. So the replayability is there once the story is complete. It's just that I won't find myself playing this game over again from scratch, even though it is pretty big. Now, on to the cons. I mentioned how the voice acting was pretty good. I really couldn't tell. It was just a shoddy port, but the dialogue is annoying at times. Now, it's not the voice acting that I'm talking about, it's the dialogue. The way they portray some of the characters at certain times, it makes them seem stupid, annoying, and just like blatantly ignorant at times, when it's like, you should really know this. I mean, what are you doing? You should be able to piece together this if I can. And I don't know if it's going for like Oliver's a child, so he needs to have the mindset of a child, but you'll see what I mean. It gets kind of annoying at times. Further on the dialogue, there is way too much of it in text. Now, I know in RPGs there's going to be a lot of reading with, in-text citations and stuff where there's no voice acting. However, this was just ridiculous. I think 80% of all the dialogue, all the voice acting, everything that involved words and conveying the story, 80% of it was in text. The rest of it, the 20%, was probably in voice acting, and that wasn't until towards the end of the game where the final bosses started coming up. There's a lot of reading. Also, the battle system with your AI counterparts and like the tactics on how to use it is very, very, very basic. So frustration is bound to arise, whether an AI teammate doesn't listen to you or it uses an attack that is like complete overkill, where you just use way too much MP when you should have saved it for later or something like that. So the commands that you give your people and your AI teammates are sometimes, just... And lastly, many, many things in this game, as I touched on before, like battle tactics, story, and the childish tone that this game takes. It can be challenging if you come into this game thinking, oh, this is just a children's game, I'll breeze by this, I'll enjoy what it has to offer. No, I honestly don't know why this is being advertised or thought of as a children's game. This is a full-out-fledged, maybe I shouldn't say complex because of the gameplay, but this is a pretty, a whole-encompassing RPG. So some of the things you may be frustrated at because of your mindset when you first start this game. So if you are a fan of RPGs or JRPGs and you're looking for probably an RPG that is definitely up there as one of the best this generation, I'd say buy Ni No Kuni. Now, if you're not really into the RPG and you don't like reading a lot, I'd say rent it instead of avoid it, because this game's story is so emotional and heartwarming and everything that it's just something I feel everyone needs to experience. So at least rent it before you pass judgment on this.